Chapter 28. Cough, cough! The explosions kicked up choking clouds of black dust. Bach struggled to clear his eyes and throat. His ears rang from the thunderclaps of the blasts. Through the haze, Isabella crawled toward him. Black dirt streaked her olive complexion. A trickle of blood ran down her forearm, sticking out through a ripped sleeve. Isabella! Bach's throat closed as his fists clenched the dark ash. Bach, shield now! She sputtered. As one, they cast defensive shields in time to deflect another wave of magical attacks. 4 sorcerers clad in the black jackets of the Scions of Sonorian stepped forward from the edge of the blackened field. Isabella could barely stand, and Bach was less than a week into his high magic studies. He hardly was prepared to battle 4 skilled sorcerers. Leave me, Bach. Go to Ithanel. Warn my father. Isabella blocked a 3rd attack. Bach doubted she had the reserves to counter a 4th. No, they'll kill you. She pushed him away with her left hand, while her right glowed faintly with her remaining magical energy. You must, for the sake of the kingdom. I won't abandon you to die. Bach looked toward the approaching sorcerers. They walked steadily, blue-green auras shining brightly. One even wore a smile. Bach's heart thrummed against the walls of his chest. A reptile voice in the back of his brain urged him to run, but he ignored it and planted his boots on the ash-covered ground. Whatever happens, I'll stand here beside my friend. Before the final blow came, an arrow flew between Bach and Isabella and struck one of the sorcerers in the neck. He collapsed dead in an instant. His 3 partners turned to him and away from Bach and Isabella. The distraction broke the spells they had been preparing. Get away, you bloodthirsty jackals! By the Exalted One, I have 3 more arrows to bury in your hearts! As if to prove his words, Aventil fired again. This time, though, the Scions of Sonorian were ready. His 2nd arrow transmuted into a harmless bouquet of flowers and fell to the ground. One of the sorcerers, a young woman, pointed in his direction. Kill the bowman fast. But before they could make good on that threat, a burst of hurricane force wind pushed the evil trio backward, forcing them to shield their eyes from the dust storm. Aladrian, what are you doing? Kotarian held his hand in front of him, palm first, as if he literally pushed the wind toward his former House of Magic colleagues. Your actions bring shame to our house. Aladrian extended her own hand, and Kotarian's spell abruptly stopped. I wondered when you'd make your grand entrance. That Bognonian's bellicose breeze spell needs work, though. Our teachers would have awarded you unsatisfactory marks had they seen how easily I countered it. You betray our teachers in the house, Kotarian spat. They taught us to use magic for the good of Imarina. Instead, you serve what exactly? Chaos? Treason? Death? The house's shining light isn't gleaming very brightly, is he? Aladrian flexed her fingers, which continued to glow blue-green. Our true leader did nothing but reveal the true path. Imarina has strayed from its traditions, allowed outside influences and decadent beliefs to taint our once great nation. But those of us who follow the true leader, the Scions of Sonorian, will lead it back to greatness. You are insane. Absolutely insane, Kotarian whispered. The Scions of Sonorian prepared to renew their attack, but Aventil and Kotarian had given Wingate time to act. He rode furiously through the black dirt, pulling the reins of the other horses behind him. Without slowing, he scooped Isabella up with one arm and deposited her behind him on his horse. She repaid the favor by blocking another exploding globe of blue-green light headed directly toward Wingate.
Hold on, your majesty. We must retreat.
Wingate dodged yet another mystical projectile. Bach, Aventil, and Kotarian quickly mounted their own horses and rode toward Wingate and Isabella, away from the fight. The Guardian headed for the trees at the edge of the destroyed farmland. They met Karagian at the edge of the field and raced into the still dark woods. Flat patches of soil gave way to thick clusters of pine trees, green undergrowth, and more than a few tree roots jutting out of the ground. The chances of a horse tripping or twisting its leg in the woods weren't small, but Bach knew those odds were better than remaining within range of the spellcaster's deadly magics. The pine trees formed almost an umbrella over the forest sky. They could no longer see or be seen by the Scions of Sonorian, but that didn't stop the rogue sorcerers from launching more wide-range attacks into the woods. Magic globes floated through the night sky. One of them struck a pine tree just yards from Bach. It exploded into a shower of bark and splinters, filling the air with the brisk smell of resin. Becky flinched, and Bach eased her reins to sidestep the shattered, smoking stump. Sizzling bolts of magical lightning streaked past them through the trees. One of them cinched the elbow of Bach's sleeve. A tremor ran through his body as he patted the smoldering fabric. That would have taken my arm had it been an inch closer.
Keep the horses focused. Straight ahead,
Karagian called.
Don't let them be scared.
The same advice applied to the riders. At the commander's urging, Bach focused on moving as quickly as possible out of the field of danger. Bach held his breath and whispered silent prayers. After a few uneasy moments, the explosions behind them stopped. The group slowed their pace to a more cautious trot. Still, they continued to move, in case their enemies pursued them. Becky grunted, but reluctantly kept going when Bach gently shook her reins. He looked ahead of the others. The night was so dark it was hard to see more than a few yards ahead. The tree canopy blocked off most of the ambient light, but one of their number appeared to be missing. Wait, where's Tovano? He wasn't there for the battle. I thought he was with you, Karagian.
Haven't seen him in a half hour. Thought he would be with the princess and you.
What? We must go back. Isabella brought her horse and the rest of the group to a full stop. We cannot abandon Tovano. Aventil nudged his horse beside hers. My love, we must keep moving. Your safety and the outcome of this mission are too important, even for Tovano. Believe me, he would be the first to agree. Isabella pumped her fists at her side. No, I refuse to accept that. Aventil, do not ask me to betray a mentor and a friend. A rustle in the brush interrupted their argument. Through the still gloomy early morning, Bach thought it might have been deer, but then a woman's voice boomed.
Drop your weapons and dismount. This will be your only warning.
The group turned to see one, then two, then a half-dozen armed riders emerge from the woods into the clearing. Although he had never seen most Sorc marauders before, Bach knew he was in their presence. The half-dozen iron swords pointed at him and his friends merely confirmed that fact.